All right. We're here, episode 3 now. And for those that listen to episode 2, if you're on YouTube, we are in the same clothes.
Yes.
Because we are recording 2 episodes at a time in case you didn't hear the end of the last one. So we're trying to do 2 at a time so that we can drop one every single week.
Yeah.
We only can record every other week. So.
Working hard for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get it all done. We do have some exciting announcements. We do want to do a shout out to our sponsor 002 and, send a friendly reminder to register for the Fredericksburg tournament that's coming up. What are the dates, Jimbo?
November 4th, November 5th.
Okay. And
Fredericksburg.
Yes, beautiful city. It's quite a destination town. Lots of tourist things to do there.
Yep.
You do get 10% off if you use our discount code with 002. Just go to pickleballbrackets.com, search 002, and use promo code DILL, D-I-L-L.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with 002, they have great amateur tournaments. Their slogan is Amateur Pickleball the Pro Way, and I truly believe that.
Yeah.
They do everything they can for the amateurs, and it's always a good time with that.
There's always a good environment there.
Yep.
And another announcement is we have a website, guys.
Yep. We do.
So
Somebody's been working hard on that website.
Yeah, we have a website. We do offer what we're calling DILL codes, D-I-L-L.
Are we? Okay.
Still up in the air with Vivi. I think it's funny, but I like a good pun. So you can find DILLs there. If you are somebody, an organization, or really if you want to do some type of sponsorship, just let us know. We're here to try to get discounts for our amateur listeners, all of our listeners. And just send us an email at shutupanddillpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Did you give the website also?
Shutupanddill.com.
Shutupanddill.com.
D-I-L-L.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
It is easy peasy.
Yeah. Check out the website. Yeah, it's a pretty website. Pretty designed. You can find that discount links, learn a little bit more about us.
Yeah.
Check out some pictures of us. So go check it out.
Yeah, we're learning a lot. We're trying to keep up with everything. It's all happening very, very fast. We've got a lot going on, so trying to drop different content. Speaking of which, we did drop a new social content. We've got a couple things here. So one of them is called Courtside Questions. Vivi, what is Courtside Questions?
So Courtside Questions is going to be probably mostly me asking some of our friends or players that we meet at tournaments who are amateurs, and we ask them different questions about themselves, not only about themselves, but about, pickleball and just different opinions they have and just pretty basic questions. So,
Yeah. We want to go from first-time tournament players to long-time, mixed partners and stuff like that. So, I think it's fun for, amateurs to get off the court and get some questions of how they did this or how they did that or, things like that. So they're good fun questions and good segment. Check us out.
Yeah, so if you want to be part of that, let us know. It is new, but we're excited about it. We do have another one. I don't know that this is a segment, but I wanted you to listen to it, Vivi, because I found it hilarious, couldn't stop laughing. You may not find it as funny, but I know you guys have seen it, and I'm sure our listeners have seen it, when in football they mic up the players.
Yeah, mic'd
so you
up.
can hear, what they're saying, hear them breathing hard, when they're playing, the little chatter that happens afterwards. So
it's so funny to me to hear football players or any athlete mic'd up on the field and just kind of what they're saying, what's going through their mind. I hadn't seen it done on a pickleball court. So we may be dropping something hot.
Something new. Yeah, we don't know if this will become
trademark.
a thing. We did not record you. So it is Jimbo who's playing. We didn't record you video-wise, but we did have you mic'd up with one of our new mics while you were playing. I've heard it. I thought it was funny. Vivi, you are going to listen to it for the first time.
Yes.
It is cut because it was like 4 minutes long.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
so
like
I cut
only
it
the
down.
best parts.
Yes.
think it's
So
just
it's cut down to just shy of 2 minutes.
Yes.
You and the listeners can hear it. We cannot. So we're really seeing your reaction for the first time.
Do I set the stage for this, or is it just
Yeah,
like
no, please.
Yeah, of like who you were playing? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah? Or I mean, it's so this is like day 3 singles. Singles is usually on the first day. This is day 3 after a couple of long days. I didn't have big expectations going into singles. It's just kind of a way to spend time. I was going to be out there anyway watching you play. So, yeah, and I'm playing like 4-5 plus. Like normally I'm 35 plus 4-0 at the very best
Yeah.
in singles. This, like, I was like, just put me in 4-5 plus 19 plus.
19,
Yeah, or
yeah.
open, I
Young
guess.
guns.
Yeah, so like first round is, I draw Alex, which I talked to Alex. He's good with me using his name. So
Okay.
if you're local and you know Alex Trevino, he's just a monster. He's I didn't know how good at singles he was, but
So fast.
so fast. Like as far as
fast.
like an athlete on the court, he's one of the best like I've seen.
Scrappy.
Scrappy, fast, power,
Yeah.
smart, all those things. So I draw him first round, and yeah, so that's what it is. And if you know me, like I'm, warm up for 5 minutes, I'm drenched in sweat. So like we found a spot for the mic to kind of keep it cool. I didn't know how it was going to sound. The quality's pretty good. So
Pretty good.
bear with us if it's not. But yeah. So
And if you need to pause it to like chat about what's happening, just pause it.
Okay.
It's. I thought it was funny. I hope you think it's funny.
Okay.
Another thing too, like you don't hear a lot. Well, I'll just let it play. Let it play.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put y'all on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. We don't get to you don't get to hear our
can laugh at
reaction
your
to.
reaction.
Yeah, we're seeing
Well,
your
It's
reaction.
just gonna be a lot of noise
Yeah,
going on, but
it's okay.
alright, guys. Here we go.
Oh no.
Can y'all hear it? Like,
No.
No, we can't hear it. Only you can.
Oh my god.
Am I breathing heavy yet? It's like 30 seconds
0-3.
It's 0-3 right now.
already.
Don't you have to cut 2 minutes out?
Good shot. Oh, sorry.
We can hear that from your headphones.
What was that?
0-3.
What was that part?
Maybe that was the no.
Yeah, you said, oh, good shot. It's so loud. Nothing's really going on right now.
Good shot.
Again. There was again.
Oh, sorry.
I actually think it just looped.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because it was the same good shot.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a different one, but
You get the gist of it.
yeah.
So it's quiet for a long time because, like, I'm not saying the score. I'm just like getting
Yeah.
throttled, and yeah, it's kind of funny.
What was the scores? What were the scores of that match?
I think it was like 11-3 and then 11-6 or something. Like I
Okay.
made some
Yeah, yeah.
in-game adjustments.
Okay.
Alex did go on to win gold, and so like first
Yeah.
right out the gate, like it's that guy, and yeah. But it was fun. I made a little run, gave him a little scare at the end. Not Alex, but
No, yeah.
Oh,
some of the other young bucks.
yeah.
But yeah, so mic'd up is I think it'll be good. I want to, put the mic on some other people when they play. Doubles would be especially funny.
Maybe what do you think you would sound like on mic'd up?
I mean, singles, it's gonna be a lot of like me like saying a score, but like shaky because I cry. Oh, it's a thing. I can't play singles without crying. I'm just like, oh, 9.
Oh, nice.
It's so bad. Doubles is a little bit different. I feel like I'm very uplifting. Maybe like, no, it's okay. Next shot.
Positive, yeah.
Yeah.
You're positive.
But singles, no.
Yeah.
It would.
You're nice to the opponents and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do
Are
mic'd
you-
up with me.
I'm usually not nice to the opponents. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's
Yeah.
I have a one that I love, but it's not clean at all. So yeah, you can't mic me up at all.
yeah.
It would mess up my vibe. Because then I would be like, oh, I have to censor myself.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'd be entertaining because I also, when I'm frustrated, like I hit myself with the paddle. So
hear
I'm
that
sure you
thing.
would hear that like whack. And it hurts, guys. Like I don't know why I do it because it hurts really bad. Every time I hit my leg, I'm like, why did I do that again?
Yeah.
It hurts really bad.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I will. I usually give myself a swat. And I don't know if it's because I'm mad or if it's like I'm trying to, tell my legs to wake up, because they're feeling like concrete.
I'm definitely telling myself to focus. I sometimes have a hard time getting focused on the court. And I play so much better when I'm actually focused and paying attention and not, paying attention to what's going on in every court or what music's playing or where's, who's out there and what's going on. Or I get very unfocused. So
And it can get away from you really quick, especially if you're in singles and you're out there by yourself. Like, it can get away from you really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like I focus a lot better in singles. It's in doubles and mix that I have a hard time. In singles, like I slip into focus pretty fast there because you are solo and you have no one else to depend on. Nothing else is somebody else's. So you're responsible for anything and everything that's hit. But I also think like on the court, you and I, we really kind of, I don't know what the word is, but we kind of reflect each other. If you're down, I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of us has to like, okay, let's move on. Like, let's forget it. Let's get some fire back underneath us because we definitely can be either really high and fiery to really low and upset and, very, like I know sometimes I have the short trigger and I go first and then right after that you're in a negative space. So
Yeah.
leave it off sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely like that with us. And then I play mixed with Vivi too, and it's the same way. So I think as a dad playing with your child on the court or like with your child playing with their dad, like you try to, there's a little bit of extra like, okay, like let's try to cheer her up.
Yeah.
Or maybe from
There's a
her
bit of
it's
a
like, hey,
responsibility.
let's try to like keep him positive,
I mean, it's impossible. Like when I'm playing with you, I just try not to even say anything. I don't even say the score too loud because he's just so moody. When we're down or when I hit too many balls into the net, he gets so moody and mean.
That's changing though. I feel like that's something like in our first episode we
is
talked
it?
about challenge. Yeah, like we played last night and it was like it's all right. Like hey, we're gonna find it. Like let's go back to the middle.
In
When
San
we were
Marcos,
playing
you'll
in
play
San
in San
Marcos.
Marcos.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's that's something I'm working on.
It is something you're working on. And you're working hard. I think you're pretty hard on yourself.
Yeah,
And that transcends. It's something that I've been trying to work through, right, is that you have that same expectation of me because that's the expectation you have for yourself.
yeah,
And I think the same thing goes for Vivi. When you're really close to you, the expectation's high for yourself. So the expectation is really high for that person that's with you as well. And sometimes that can come off as like moodiness, which we've talked about. And you really are working very hard at it and trying to be a really good partner on the court, even when you're frustrated with choices and shot selection. And
yeah. It's really hard to play with somebody you like love outside of the court. Because you feel like you're not doing enough, as hard as you try, you don't want to make that mistake, but when you do, it just, it's a downward spiral, I guess, once I make the mistake. And then on top of, you know, maybe Vivi or you making a mistake, then it's just, you know, it's hard to get past those things, especially with somebody that you care about. I mean, I care about all my partners, but not somebody I live with and somebody I you know, love,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Yeah, well, and I think, I don't know, Vivi, if you ever feel this way, but like if you're messing up, we all have those moments where we're just not playing our best. You feel kind of like I sometimes feel like I've let you down. I'm like, oh, I'm letting him down on the court. Like I feel responsible.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good thing, but at times it can be very mental of like you've got to move past that and just say, I'm not playing my best today. How do I correct that? And I don't need to put that extra weight on myself of I'm letting my partner down or I'm letting this person I love down. That's got to go out the window and just say, okay, well, let's get back to the basics and let's move on and not feel this way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I've told both you guys, like, whenever we are in a slump or whenever you feel like, you know, you don't want to make a mistake, it's like, man, like, just be aggressive just in case you make the shot, right? Like, I had a baseball coach that told me swing hard just in case you hit it, right? So like, we might as well go for it. Like, we might as well go for it.
That's very opposite to what you say in golf, which give it a chance.
Yeah. Well, golf is, I mean,
But like, give it a chance. You don't have to go 90 and like whatever, 100 miles an hour on every ball. Sometimes just give it a chance. Like, hit it over the net.
yeah,
Like, that's the most basic thing. Is
Yeah,
hit
I
it
think
over the net.
I think third shot, whether it's a drive or a drop, absolutely, it's like hitting a putt. Like, you got to give it a chance to go over the net.
Yeah.
Just like when you're hitting a putt, you got to give it a chance to go in the hole. If you hit it too soft, it never had a chance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you hit it long, maybe they swing at it, right? Like, give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
We practice defense for a reason. We practice transition for a reason.
Yeah. Truth.
Yep.
So we're going to do a segment today. It's a fun one. We're going to do a new one. Paddle tap this, right? Paddle tap this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is might be a controversial stance on something, like something that not everybody. And it came from Riley saying that he didn't want to paddle tap between matches. Like when you won a game or lost a game, he felt it was ridiculous to go up there and paddle tap in between there.
Yeah.
And that was controversial at the time.
Yeah, I think the majority of amateurs think that it's, like, well, I thought we paddle tapped after every game,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's an unpopular opinion.
it's an unpopular opinion. Jimbo, you're actually leading this one off. So tell us what your paddle tap this is, or unpopular opinion.
Yeah, so I think, well, my unpopular opinion, and I think it's probably unpopular to a lot of, the men or young men that play around, just that I'm familiar with. And it's that I think that I have a strong opinion that mixed doubles requires so much more thought and skill. It's methodical than playing men's doubles. Men's doubles, unless there's somebody on the court that doesn't belong, whether they're, just not at the level as everybody else, as the other three people on the court, or somebody that's just way better than the other three people on the court, it's really hard to find, a lot of holes in the, in the 4-5, 5-0 world. Like, it's, for the most part, it's a lot of dinks until somebody makes a mistake, and then it's basically it's a put away, and then, or maybe a block or two, and then maybe a firefight, and then it's over with and on to the next point. Where in mixed, it's you really got to be careful of where you're putting the ball. I like to move around a lot, and which leaves my line open, or somebody can put the ball behind me pretty easily at times. So if I'm not really careful of where my shot's going, or if I don't know where my partner's hitting the ball, like it's tough. Mixed is tough. And then there's underestimation or this misconception of we got to really target the female, or it's just going to be cross court dinks with the females, and we'll see, or we'll just overpower, whoever it is on the court. And it's really not like, you, Nikki, and you too, Vivi, are just as dangerous as I am on the court, with angles and just with touch and with defense and knowing where. Like, I think you guys know where I'm hitting the ball pretty much most of the time. So you're set, and I think the other teams are set. They know where the guy's going, or they know where the lady's going, so they're set and prepared. Where in men's, I think, like I said, it's kind of, let's move the ball around, let's wait for a pop up, and let's get after it, and try to put it away. So I would say for the amateur guy, like, spend some time, like, find that mix partner, spend some time drilling mix. And maybe it's me, maybe I don't transition into men's as well. Although I feel like it's my men's game has come along. I've kind of found a partner that I've, played several tournaments with now. We're pretty comfortable on the court. But before that, it was all mix, and I would have this problem transitioning into men's, where maybe some of the guys I play with, they transition into mix better than I transition into men's from mixed, I guess.
I wonder if some of that's because of the responsibility. I mean, there is a difference in mixed versus gender-specific doubles in pickleball. So, like, in men's, you don't really cross over the line as much. Like, if your person shifts, your partner shifts to the other side.
Right.
Of course, you're shifting with them.
Yeah.
But if you're both at the kitchen, you're both kind of deciding on the fly who's taking that middle ball. Maybe you prepared before, like it's, the X, or forehand in the middle takes it. But in mix, the guy is actually very responsible for, like, 75% of
a lot of the court.
Yeah, a lot of the court. It's hard for me, because I'm an aggressive female on the court, to know that I'm really only monitoring like 25-30% of the shots in court. And really I have to let you, but I wonder if that's part of it, is that you like that ability to move around and kind of be free to do things. For sure. Yeah. I mean, men on the court, or not men, but just I would say that left side player maybe really a lot of times has to find a way to stay active without the ball, right? Like, you have to, it's movement, and it's, it's just kind of, maybe I'm going to show you my line, but I'm not going to give it to you. Yeah. But, I think we've been able to adjust, and Vivi, like, I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's like, I don't mind you playing the left side. Like, let me let me be the rock, right? Like, we've talked about the rock in the river, where the rock is solid. It doesn't move. It's just always going to be there. And the river just kind of flows, like, it just kind of flows free. It's a little wild sometimes. And I like, I like you. Like, we've played matches where we stack, and I'm on the, I'm on the right side. Yeah. And let you kind of roam free, especially I think when you're struggling, like, we give you a little more freedom, and that kind of amps you up. It kind of that's kind of your zone. So if you have that mixed partner that really likes to be aggressive, like, don't try to pin that down, like, especially if you get that. Like, that's the great thing about mix. You find the mismatch, and it a lot of times it works better with you on the left and me on the right, because we can, I can work straight ahead and you can work cross court, or I can work cross court and you can work straight ahead. Same thing with you, Vivi. Like, sometimes you're a little timid, but I think that your game is at its best when you're playing aggressive, when you're,
Yeah. I mean, I guess saying, like, Nikki might feel or play better when she's, like, free. I think that's very specific, because I know personally, like, females, like somebody who can constantly be there. And I know you're not completely that, because you're not as, like, fit.
Oh, wow.
As, like,
it's a fitness issue.
No. But, like, you can't move around as much as a lot of, like, players that
if we're playing 19-year-olds, it's incredible how fast they are.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, sure, you and Nikki, when y'all are playing 35
I play
plus,
smarter,
that's
not
great.
harder.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have to say. I feel like personally, I want a mixed partner. So mixed partners hit me up who can who love the left side, love playing the left side,
Yeah.
and can keep up with what they're doing and not just like hit and just wait for the next ball, but hit and kind of know what's going to come back.
Yeah. You got. I mean, that's what I'm saying about mix. Like, you have to be really smart. I'm talking just as the man, I guess. You know, the male partner on a mixed team. Like, you just have to be. You have to be smart about it, but you also have to be able to move and cover up kind of your own mistakes, or, you know, your ball placement. Really, you have to be aware of where that next shot's coming. You can't just think of where you're going to hit the ball, but also where you're going to hit the ball. You know, how's that coming back to your partner? How is that coming back to you? And what does that do for the next shot? You know, and how can you expose that through 11 points or 15 points? You know, for 5 or 6 matches in a tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I would automatically agree that I like mixed better than gender-specific doubles. I've always liked mixed better, period. In tennis, too. I will say pickleball is a bit different because there's times that I never really had a problem playing mixed tennis with men. Mm-hmm. There's so much court that's there. You have time. So you kind of learn a person's game pretty quick. You have a lot of time to learn it. You have 6 games, and then you have another set on top of that. So you kind of learn where the man's going to go, when they're going to put pace on it. You kind of know where you need to be. I loved it. But in pickleball, it's so fast. If you get a big hitter, where I'm placed actually makes a big difference because there are times when I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Like, I know I just cannot keep up. And if you start that firefight, if you speed it up to the guy and I'm standing in front of him, then he's coming at me. Yeah. And then I'm at a loss. I'm like, okay, I can't physically, like, I'm just not fast enough to read it and see it. So then there I am, you know, jammed up. So sometimes it's better to put me across from that guy. So that way, if you speed it up straight at you, it's probably coming back to you straight. But also, if I'm cross court, it gives me just that extra second that it's coming cross court. It's a little further. It gives me that extra second to be prepared and ready and hit and hopefully get it to the female who's in front of me. So that's where it's good that we are able to mix it around at times and put me on the left side. Not where I permanently want to be. I think you're a better striker in the middle. Obviously, with your forehand, you're much stronger and your reach is further. You're quicker than me. I mean, your background in athletics, you're very fast. Your reaction's very fast. But there's times that it gives me a little bit more room and time to be on the left side.
Yeah. And that's why I think mixed is so much fun. There's just a whole lot to think about. Where in men's, it's like, okay, I've got fast hands. He's got fast hands. Let's start it and see how many of these, hands battles we can win or how many pop-ups we can get. And that's fun. Like, I like that. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's just like the Wild West, where in mixed, it's like.
In men's, well, it's interesting because in the pros, in men's, they there's a lot of dinking because they know it can get so fast so quickly that.
And then it's, you get those dink battles, and we had one of our listeners ask, like, hey, what do you think about, like, just watching these dinks for like 2 minutes, these 40 shot dink rallies before anything happens. And it's like, man, like, if you try to speed that ball up at, on the pro level, like a ball that's not supposed to get sped up, like you're eating it, it's just insane to think that that's the ball you want to speed up.
Yeah. So
the patience that men's pros requires is ridiculous. Like, those guys have, some great discipline, and it's fun to watch. Like, I like it. Like, we'll sit around, me and Vivi will sit around and watch, watch pickleball, like watch men's, and be like, okay, who's going to screw this up? Like, we're taking bets. Like, who's going to be the one to speed
impatient
it up
first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, like, you're waiting for the speed up and somebody like dunks a dink into the net. And it's like, oh man, like, that's not what we expect at all. You're just so used to those guys being robots and making the dink. And Yeah, so it's fun to watch at our level, I think, or at my level in men's. It's it's getting there. You get those long rallies, and those are a lot of fun. But as soon as you get that that ball that's just a little bit high, like you're going for it, and then at that all bets are off. It's basically who has the quickest hands or who can get an angle at one of those at one of those volleys and put it away.
Yeah. Well, Vivi, we have a few more minutes. Which one's your favorite? I don't know that we actually.
Oh, well, I'm a big mixed player. I also played, I played mixed in high school for like the spring season.
Tennis, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, tennis. I played mixed, but I didn't like mixed tennis as much as singles tennis, only because I never really learned how to volley. I mean, I try to learn, of course. Yeah. But I wasn't ever good at it, so I didn't love it. And I liked playing women's because it's a lot more ground strokes, which is kind of what I liked. So mix was hard for me, but mix and pickleball is my favorite event. I look forward to it. Although partner-wise, I mean, I'm all over the place, so I don't have what y'all have. I don't always know what my partner's gonna do.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit stressful, but yeah.
That can be really tough, extremely tough. Like not having that solidified partner. That's kind of one. It's kind of hard to find somebody that's same like skill level.
Yeah.
Right, and then two, same. Kind of work ethic, like, hey, are we showing up to the court 15 minutes early and getting a quick warm up and then playing this tournament? Or are we going to, can we drill like twice a week? And can we set up matches before this tournament and see where we're at, see where we need to work on? Yeah. And like I said, a lot of these dudes out here, man, they just want to go bang it and play mixed if they can find a partner. If not, that's cool.
Well, it's an investment in time. I mean, even when we started playing, I think we were both pretty, like once a week we had to drill.
Right.
And then maybe play something competitive once a week. We've been doing that for years now. And like I've said several times, I notice a difference when we don't drill as much. Like, drilling's really, really important. And drilling with your partner, I believe this wholeheartedly. The more you drill against your partner, the more you know what shots they're capable of.
Yep.
So then if they've got a wide ball, this is the ball that they typically go for and do. So I know where I need to be.
Yep.
And sometimes I pay attention to us and we slide really well on the court. But I think that's because we play against each other so much in drilling. What shot selection they have. It makes a difference. You're learning even when you're just drilling against your partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that we did not get into while we have a little bit time left, and of course we want to hear my dad talk even more. I'm sorry.
Am I talking too much?
Well,
Sorry.
No, you're talking.
you have
Sorry,
a long
y'all.
explanation for most things.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Well,
apologize to the listeners.
here's
You
another.
guys can cut me off anytime.
Well, our podcast name.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Where did the name come from?
Yeah.
The shortened version.
Shortened
We have
version.
just a few minutes.
Shut Up and Dill. So I'm a poker player. I love to play poker. And before a poker tournament, not a cash game, but before a poker tournament starts, it's announced, shuffle up and Dill. That's like the kickoff to a tournament starting. So used to have this group I played with back home at the house, and one of my best friends, he's a great poker player, great dealer, but he would just hold the cards and not deal them out. Like he would just be telling a story, holding the cards while everybody, there's a lot of money on the table, so everybody's kind of anxious about like, hey, I want to see my cards, and he's holding the cards. So it was like, hey man, like shut up and deal. So it's kind of a play on my poker background and poker hobby, and then also like just kind of a shout out to one of my best friends that we used to play poker with.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I like it for another reason when y'all brought up the name, because we came up one evening, and I liked it because there's obviously little bit of controversy about how much noise pickleball makes everywhere. And tennis players like not wanting to convert. And I was one of them. I don't think I've ever told y'all this before, but when I was young, there were particular tennis courts that I grew up playing on, and they did a proposal in the city to demolish those courts and make them all pickleball courts. And I was one of the people that was like, heck no, this is not happening.
Yep.
I petition. Don't put that silly sport into the courts that I grew up on. I mean, it was something I was passionate about. Like, I learned tennis there. Most of my matches were there. So I was one of those individuals that was very much like, pickleball, no.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of tongue in cheek of like, just shut up and Dill. Like, go out there and try it. Give it a shot. See if you like
Right.
it. It's a little noisy, but it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
well, all right. That's the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
We appreciate you listening. Really do value our listeners. Please give us feedback and ideas on our website, shutupanddill.com, or any of our social channels. You can email us at shutupanddillpodcast@gmail.com. And Shut Up and Dill is here to share the amateur experience.
Yeah, and don't forget, use our code DILL for 10% off 002 pickleball tournaments on pickleballbrackets.com.
002.
Yep.
Yeah, and Dill, DILL.
DILL.
If we haven't covered that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks.